Welcome back to the Compound Podcast. This is episode 285. 285 of the Compound Podcast presented by Parse Rum. Our friends at Parse. Sneaky. It's getting to that time of year. It's getting to that holiday season. It's getting to that Parse 3 year in a little eggnog. You seem like, Dakota, you would have eggnog on Thanksgiving.
If you think I already am not a whole bottle of eggnog down, you're insane.
I
I
mean,
have
yep,
literally
that
already
feels
had a
right.
full bottle of eggnog, and it's delicious. It's just as good every year, never misses. And you know
That's
what? I'm going to try
disgusting.
throwing some parsley in there, see what it's like.
Little Parse 3 year right in your eggnog. Everybody knows the rules. Send us a photo. Parse 3, 8, 12, whatever year you want to drink. Maybe a little 12, maybe a little celebration 12. It's my anniversary. Happy anniversary to me. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
If you think that we keep track of your wedding date, you're insane.
Well, I don't. I'm just saying it is. It is my 2 year wedding
You
anniversary.
know how I'd know? You know how I'd know? Is if you cared and loved enough your lovely wife, Julie, if you posted about it. That's how I'd know. But instead, you posted your workout. Oh, big, strong man in the gym. But you couldn't say anything about your loving wife.
Flying around in the gym, I'll tell you that.
I'm still waiting on my wedding invite. It's going to come, I think, probably in the next 2 weeks. So once I get that, then I'll be locked in for the anniversary for next year.
Okay. Yep.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. He got you there, Ian. Oh, did Riz or Lester text you like happy anniversary? No chance. No chance they did.
Now it's generally ants.
Yeah, it's more of like a aunts and uncles and not uncles. Yeah, it's aunts like your
Ants.
mom,
Yeah.
sisters if you had them. Like it's nothing. I mean, if I texted you happy anniversary today, you'd probably be like, "Why? Why do you know that it's my anniversary today?" If
Yeah.
anything, it'd be weird.
Jameson Tyon's birthday. Uh, Same day as my anniversary.
See, now that'd be messed up if he didn't tell you because like he should never forget.
Good point.
So bad friend. Well, first we missed you last week. We had Zach and Scotty fill your shoes.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Shout out to Zach and Scott for stepping in,
Was that Zach's first time
pinch
back?
hitting.
Was that Zach's first time back since he quit the show and deserted us?
No, he did when Ian was in Tokyo for the Japan series.
That's right. He did, but he was way more like quiet in that one. He like didn't talk. I remember that now. Zach was good
Good
last
act.
week. He was chatty.
Did you guys have fun?
It was a good time. It was classic. Like Scott would have to like mute himself so that he'd stop talking. It was hilarious. It was exactly how you thought it would go.
That's just
I,
exactly what it should be like.
Tom asked if I want to do the intro. I said, no, I do not. And then he's like, let's have Scott do it. And Scott's like, no, I can't. So Tom ended up doing it. He did really, really good. So it worked out, but I was like, I'm not an intro guy. I'm a color commentator, if you will.
Yeah, you are.
Dakota did a
Very,
great
and you're
job, though,
very good.
getting us into Bruce Bolt, though. Got us into
I
Bruce
did.
Bolt.
I almost forgot about Bruce Bolt and I dropped it like right before we did Sloan screen time. And I did the whole ad and I said like brucebolt.us promo code HAP free shipping. You're welcome.
You're on top of it.
Hey, I do what I can.
It's just ingrained.
Yeah.
My dad listened to the episode and he said he thought Scott was a little out there. That was his take on Scott Efros, a little out there. Which
Did
I was
you
like, I
ask
feel
him?
like you kind of missed that. He's been on the show 15 times. If this is your first time, you're realizing Scott's a little out there.
That's what I was gonna say. Is you never heard him talk? I mean, that's why we love him. That's why we love him because he is a little out there. He's wild, but he's hilarious too. Scott's so funny, and it's funny. You guys don't see it obviously as much as I do, but like Zach and Scott together is also just funny because Zach can push Scott's buttons. Because Scott will just make like dumb jokes or say something dumb, and Zach just gets like annoyed. He's like, "You're such
Yeah.
an idiot."
Gets irritated with him, huh?
Yeah, they're like a couple almost. It's cute.
Um, should we get
My
into our
parents, by the
topics?
way, this week in Austin. They're in Texas. They're in Texas for a wedding. They're going to Dallas. My dad's convinced he's going to solve the JFK assassination, and then they're going to
Nice.
Austin on Wednesday. So,
Little Texas tour.
you got any recommendations? Should I give him? You got any good Austin recommendations you want to throw out there to the
Yeah,
people?
let me shoot you a
Tom,
couple places.
Okay,
Let me
Tom,
shoot
what's
you a
what's
thing or
their
two.
budget before you
that's a good
pass
point.
them
I don't
along,
know if
Ian?
it's it might not be the yeah.
It's, I mean, he's gonna throw you like a Michelin star restaurant. Be like, yeah, you got to go to this place. Like, yeah, of course, I'd love to go to this place, but it's $500 a plate. Maybe Ian will take him to dinner. Who knows?
Do you want to get into our topics?
I'd love to. We
Okay.
missed you. We had to give you a hard time. We missed
Yeah,
you, you know?
thanks. No, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Kyle Hendricks' retirement. It's official. Cubs put out a nice little video. One of the cool things is just seeing some of his career stats. They're hilarious. He was a really good pitcher.
Tom read like I think his total career stats last year or last week. We talked about it a little bit, but yeah, it is funny to see like people forget how good he was for like a long stretch there.
He was really, really good. Obviously, a Cubs Hall of Famer, and hopefully he's back a little bit as much as he wants to be. But just what a great career. What a great career. And go ahead, Dakota.
All I was going to say is I didn't want to cut you off. That's why I raised my hands because you said back as much as he wants to be. I don't know him that well. You know him better than I do, but the little I do know him, I don't know if I see him coming back that much because he doesn't like the limelight. He's not like wants to go back and like get his curtain or get his flowers. Like he strikes me as more of like a maybe one time next year he'll like go to a game
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to be around for the 2016 10-year stuff
for sure.
that they're going to do. So he'll definitely be around for that. He lives in Arizona or has been living in Arizona. So I could see him coming to spring training for a few days.
Yeah,
I think he
true.
likes
Just in
talking
the area.
pitching. Like he likes being around pitching. I don't think he wants to like shake hands and kiss babies, but I think he could, I don't know, he might want to be like talking to pitchers.
Yeah, I could see that, but it's more so like you said. He's not the. I mean, Lester's the same way. Of Lester doesn't really. I feel like to go back and do a ton of stuff. Like he'll go back and do like a little bit of this and that. Like he was on the broadcast once this year. Like he'll go back, but I don't find either of them to be people that are like, oh, I can't wait to go back and like have everything be about me. Not in a bad way, but just that's how it is when like ex stars go back to their city. Like
Yeah.
people love to see it.
Yeah. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he went out the way he wanted to go out and that, you know, he gets to spend time with his family. Hopefully he plays a little bit more golf. That my hope for Kyle in
Yes.
retirement is that he actually plays some golf.
I don't know if we've ever, I'm sure we've talked about it because we've talked about him a lot of times, but he's the funniest. Like, have you seen him golf?
Yeah.
Is his swing pure?
Yeah.
Because I asked him about it one time because I was like, hey, like, I heard you're really good at golf, but like, you don't golf. He's like, yeah, like, I'm pretty good. Like, I golfed when I was really young and I don't know. I got sick of it and I haven't golfed in years. He's like, but whenever I go, like, it probably still like mid 70s. I was like, wait, what? Like you don't go for 3 years and then you go out and fire like a 75? I don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, every time I've heard of him playing or seen him play, he shot somewhere between like 70 and 74. And like he's got a really pure move. And it's just, he doesn't love playing golf. But I'm hoping in retirement he starts to love it again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you would think so. Like I feel like I mean, you probably know even a little bit in the off season. Like I remember when I played like the off season, like it's great at first. You get time to relax, refresh, and then like you're just training for months and you're like, I'm just bored. Like you get to like a boredom point of like, what do I do every day? So
Yeah.
like without golf, I don't know.
The off-season grind of just going to the gym and working out it's like exciting at first and then it gets really tough.
I'm waiting for Zach's. Zach has texted Scott and I every single year, I think, typically within the first month of the off season, and just is like, guys, I'm so sick of working out. I haven't gotten that text yet, so maybe he's enjoying it a little more this year. I don't know.
Has he picked up a bat yet?
I haven't asked him. I'd be more surprised if he ever put a bat down,
Good for him.
but I don't think so. I don't think he's hitting yet, actually.
It would be great if he isn't.
I I mean, you could tell him that till you're blue in the face and he won't listen.
He won't listen.
Ian, you
Anyone,
mentioned though, it's got to be kind of cool next year, 10-year anniversary of 2016. There's going to be a lot of those guys you can imagine coming back,
Yeah.
and that's going to be pretty cool for you. I'm sure for you to see all your former teammates come back.
Yeah. Yeah. I played with the majority of those guys. So I do hope that um I hope that a ton of them come back. I think as far as I've heard, there's a lot that are planning on coming. Probably something around CubsCon and then something during the year. So yeah, I'm excited to see all of them. It's going to be a big pop at CubsCon. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
like those guys all coming on stage is going to be they're superstars. I mean, the best team that Chicago's ever seen, and it's going to be awesome
Do you think Johnny Lester's going to CubsCon?
for this. Yeah,
You think so?
I do.
I can't tell if that smirk
No,
means
I
like
do.
no chance or if it's like,
No, I do.
yeah, he'll be there.
I do. I think Lack's going to be the one. Lack will be the tougher one to get there.
But if Lester calls him and is like, hey, if I'm going, you got to go, like, I could see them both being there then.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of the guys are going to be back. I think it's just such a special team, like
Yeah. And the fans will go insane, like you said. Like, they're going to
bonkers,
love it.
bonkers.
That's one, like, would it be weird? Like, yeah, I guess it'd be kind of weird. Like, Jay Hay, for example, if he signs with another team, like, would he still go to that?
I think Jay would. I think just because like he was back a little bit this year towards the end. Like he came back once at the end of the regular season for Riz's deal,
Hmm.
and then he came back with Dexter for one of the playoff games. So he's been around a little bit. So I could see him coming back um, for that Cubs Con. And then, like KB is the one of like KB and Javi are probably the two that it's like, they're still playing, they're still going. Like, do they come back? I don't know.
I feel like it'd be kind of strange.
Yeah.
Like if you're on like what like Tigers and Rockies and it's like you go to Cubs Con to like it's very cool and it's in the off season, but it just I don't know. I feel like that'd be weird. If I were them, I'd be uncomfortable. I'd be like, yeah, this was awesome, but I was like, I'm not on this team anymore. Hopefully
Imagine
they
how,
do though, because like if you can get the whole group back together, like I bet it'd be a blast. Like Riz will be there,
yeah, Riz will be there for sure.
guaranteed.
Arietta.
Arietta will be there for sure. Dexter Fowler will be there for sure.
Yeah, Miggy Montero for sure. David Ross. I hope that's like a time that Rossi can come back.
Yeah, he should. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be awesome, like you said.
And then obviously they'll probably do something during the season. When they do something at Wrigley, that'll also be really cool.
Yeah.
Probably a weekend like they gave Sammy and Derek Lee and to probably go. Do you imagine that team probably just goes in the Cubs Hall of Fame? Are they already in there? If they're not, I imagine that whole team probably just goes in as like a group.
Yeah, not yet. They're not in yet. I mean, I would think yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do something like that. There's definitely players on that team that will be Cubs Hall of Famers. I don't know. There's no
Feels like if you're to
precedent
induct a team,
for it.
that's the one team that you probably would induct as a team, just because like
How does that work? Do you just induct every player?
no, you just induct like the 2016 Cubs. Like they're in now the 2016 Cubs are just in the Chicago Cubs Hall of Fame. Teams get inducted. Like the 92 Dream Team, I think, is in the Basketball Hall of Fame. There's precedent.
Hmm.
I've definitely heard of that. I was going to ask Ian, you said it earlier when we first started talking about Hendricks. Do you think he'll be a Cubs Hall of Famer?
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, no doubt.
No doubt. I mean,
He's not.
just like where he is on the all-time ranks of like Cubs stuff is like shoe in. Plus,
Mhm.
like the time he spent with the team, Game 7 star, like all that stuff. Like he's squarely a Cubs Hall of Famer.
Cubs Hall of Fame isn't like the same as a jersey retirement, right? Okay. I
The only
was gonna
guys
say.
that the Cubs retired jerseys of are Hall of Famers that went in as Cubs.
Okay. So like Sandberg, Billy Williams,
Sandberg, Billy, Santo,
Fergie.
Greg, Greg
Fergie a
Maddux.
Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Cubs Hall of Famers get the Blue Jackets.
hmm
That's sick.
But like Dawson didn't go in to the Hall of Fame as a Cub, so his number's not retired. That's why I'm wearing it.
Love that. Love that move out of you. But yeah, I think that'll be sick. I called dibs on you leaving me a ticket when they do that ceremony next year at a game. Thanks. Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Nice.
Yeah,
You're a nice guy. You're a nice guy, man.
that'll be great.
I was upset. I don't know if I've said this. I was sad there was never a Cubs home game. Did you have one Saturday game in the postseason? I don't think so. I think it was all weekdays. Maybe it was like a Friday night game.
I don't know if we had a home game. They tried to stay away from we definitely didn't have any Sundays. I think we had a Saturday on the road.
That's what, because I was waiting for like a Friday afternoon or like a Saturday game to see if I could make it down for a postseason game. But during the week, it was just too much in one day for me to make happen. And that's on me. That's on me why you guys didn't go to the World Series.
It was messed up, man.
I'm sorry. I'll be better next year.
We're currently recording this in the afternoon on Tuesday the 18th, so we're waiting on qualifying offer news, and we're going to cover that at some point. But we should talk about free agency. We got a nice kickoff to free agency with Josh Naylor signing back with the Mariners on a 5 for 92.5. We don't have exact details on the structure, but that is 18.5 AAV, 18.5 a year, 5 years, 92.5. Been a really good player. His ability to drive in runs is probably the most impressive part of his game, besides the 20 stolen bases he had in the second half of last year. But just his ability to drive in runs. He's been 90 plus RBIs, I think, each of the last 3 seasons, and was obviously a huge lift for that team in the second half and then the playoff run they made. So good signing by the Mariners to shore up their offense going into next year, and good for Naylor.
Their GM, Depoto, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
He said he's like Naylor's the most baseball savvy player I've ever like been around, which checks out, like you said, with his stolen bases of he's not fast and he had what 20 plus 30 plus bags.
I think he had 30 last year. I think he
I
was
think he
30-30.
Yeah, and that just tells you all you need to know if like he just outthinks the opponent because like he should, with all due respect, he should never have 30 plus bags. Like guys with much more speed don't get it. Yourself being one of them.
That's rude.
But yeah, and it was a ricochet shot. It
Didn't
wasn't
have
meant
to
to
do
be.
that.
It wasn't meant to
That
be.
was unbelievable.
It wasn't meant to be a shot. But yeah, that's not great out of me. That's not great. But I do love the deal for the Mariners. I thought it was interesting to see. I saw a tweet that the Pirates were in on him and offered him like 80 million. And if I'm a Pirates fan, I'm like, you know what? I respect it. Like we're trying. Like that's all. Obviously, they didn't win out, and who knows? Like even if they went to like 100, if he would have chose to go to Pittsburgh instead of Seattle, just for like outlook of the franchise. But as like a team like the Pirates, where everyone's like, you have Paul Skeens, like you have to go and get him help. Like he's the best pitcher in baseball. Help him. Like you like to see the effort of at least they're offering these deals to guys.
Yeah, maybe they're going to be in on the rest of the market. There's Schwarber's not out of reach for them. Maybe they're going to be in on a guy like Schwarber or some like a Harrison Bader or Trent Grisham type
Yeah.
of player to add. So we'll see, but good to hear.
We should mention Skeens just won the Cy. We didn't get a chance to talk about that. That happened after we recorded last week. Skeens won the Cy Young. I mean, I watched this TikTok where it was 1,000 days since his first start at LSU, the day that he won the Cy Young, and pretty incredible to think about. Like in 1,000 days, he went from a guy that transferred from Air Force that pretty much nobody knew about in college baseball, all the way to being the consensus Cy Young Award winner, and then like in a runaway fashion. And he is right now maybe the best pitcher in baseball. And it's hard to argue that if you had one game right now, you wouldn't want Paul Skeens to start it.
Maybe Yamamoto.
Yeah,
Just on recency bias. But yeah, I agree. Like it's crazy how it's one of those of like similar to Bryce Harper. Like when you have that much hype, it's hard to live up to it. And like he's almost exceeding it right now. Like he won Rookie of the Year. I think he was top 5 in Cy Young even last year, I want to say. And then he wins Cy Young this year. Like he's like you said, I if he's not the best, he's a top 3 pitcher in baseball. Like it's fun to watch him throw.
Yeah, I also just the sub 2 ERA obviously jumps off the page and is pretty impressive in his career numbers. He has a 196 career. Pretty good. But I think last year just making 32 starts, being out there consistently, they protected him a little bit at the end with innings as they should have, just where they were, but he went out and made every one of his starts. He struck out 216 in 187 innings, and was dominant all year. So back-to-back All-Star games, finished third in the Cy Young last year, first in the Cy Young this year, won Rookie of the Year last year. I mean, just you couldn't ask for a better first 2 years out of the number one prospect in baseball and the number one, just the best pitcher in baseball in general. So an unbelievable start to his career, and yeah, you hope the Pirates build around that.
I mean, you already got like what 15 at bats against him.
Quite a few. I think we've faced him a lot. We
Yeah,
faced him so much last year, and then got him a bunch.
he does
Um,
seem not like a like ferocious like Max Scherzer type competitor, but he does strike me as a guy of like when they're limiting in his innings, he's probably like not the happiest about it either. Like you said, it makes sense. Like you have to do it when your team's eliminated. Like don't go and throw them out there when really anyone throwing a baseball at any given moment can have something happen to their arm. So it's like, hey man, like you threw your 4 innings today, you threw 60 pitches, like you're done. And I just could see him being a guy that's like, what are you talking about? Like we're gonna win this game. Like I'm staying in. So hopefully they can build around him, not to be better than the Cubs, but to be like competitive to where like we get to see him throw in some meaningful games. Like Tom said, like if
It'd
you
be
see
really
him
good for
like
the sport if they could
yeah,
get him in a playoff game. And I think their windows now. You know what I mean? As you just said, you never know with a pitcher and their arm how it's going to go. The window right now for the Pirates is now. Go up.
well,
If this is it's this offseason, go out and try to get somebody who can help you compete because every year that you have Skeens and he's going to be out there, you don't know when that window is going to close. You don't know what's going to happen to him. But if he's going out there and throwing 32 starts a year, you're going to have 32 chances to win baseball games very,
yeah.
very likely.
And especially once his rookie contract's up, it's unlikely, I'd say, the Pirates are going to be able to afford what he will demand, which will probably be the richest contract of any starting pitcher, I would assume, like health sustaining. I think that's the right word. But yeah, like if he's healthy, like I don't know if the limit exists for how much he'll get paid. So I like you said, now's the time for them to go and see like, hey, can we make a push while we have a couple more years of Paul Skeens on a rookie deal?
As they talk about in the NFL, it's like having the rookie quarterback on the rookie contract. Like this is the most valuable commodity in sports. When you have the ace pitcher locked under contract for another 4 years on his rookie deal, like this is the time to go spend if you're the Pirates.
Yeah, because like you said, like once his rookie deal is up, you're either putting all of your chips in on him and not able to afford anyone else, or he's gone, and then you're kind of starting back over again. So hopefully
I
they
mean,
do
we've seen
something.
this. They've been down this road before. I mean, like look what happened last time they went down this. I mean, they traded him to Houston. Like they've
Mhm.
been down this road before, where you have the best pitcher in baseball, and they've had to move off that contract early. That'll come sooner than you think. So when you
Yeah.
have the window right now where you can be competitive, you got to take advantage.
Yeah.
For
When
sure.
he becomes ARB eligible, that's, his second or third year of ARB, the contract's going to get to a point where they're going to have to make a decision. So,
But hopefully they don't get too good though, right, Ian? Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
MVP race,
It was
Judge.
close.
Yeah, Judge.
It was close as it should be. Sorry.
Yeah,
17-13.
it was very close. The voting was very close. Judge won over Cal Raleigh. I think they got it right.
I'd agree.
I think
I
they got it
think
right. I think just the total season the Judge put together was comical. Offensive numbers were comical. Obviously, Cal Raleigh had an amazing year, but I'm glad there wasn't a bias on Judge because of what he's done in the past. Like he was the best player in the American League.
and I think that was the consensus I saw online of like I said, I think rightfully so it was close. Like it shouldn't have been like 30-0 Judge because like Raleigh deserved some votes as well. And it was even closer than I expected, honestly. But I think, like you said, I'm glad the voter bias didn't take it away from the season he had because if you look at just the numbers, like he deserved it over Cal Raleigh. I think the story behind Seattle and all that kind of made it a bigger push for him and like him being a catcher and all that. So I think they got it right, but it was a good race for sure.
And then the National League MVP was already decided. It was
Yeah, that
going to be
was
Shohei. That was
I don't I don't think anyone thought
it was
anything else
obvious.
could possibly happen.
It was something about like, was it the first time ever that same guys won in each league back to back? I saw
I
something
think I
like
saw
that,
that, yeah, which is insane and
which is
just
crazy.
is a testament to how good those two guys are.
Yeah, I mean, to back up an MVP season with another MVP season is so hard. And like both of those guys did it. And despite like some, pretty phenomenal performance from other guys in their league. So yeah, it's awesome.
That's the thing too, right? Like you could keep doing it year after year if you're judging Otani, but like there are those guys that have like big breakout seasons that could steal it from you. Like Cal Raleigh is a perfect
Yeah.
example of like he had this big breakout season and almost stole it from Judge, even though Judge had another astronomical season. Like to keep posting those numbers like they do is just unprecedented.
Yeah, and Shohei has a chance to break Barry Bonds' record of MVPs, like
How many is it? 11?
seven or eight,
7?
seven.
And he's at
Yeah,
what, 4?
it's at four.
That's insane. That's he's special, man.
We should also mention Cade Horton finished second in the NL Rookie of the Year voting. I had him as my Rookie of the Year. It came down really close with him and Drake Baldwin. I was honestly a little surprised. Cade was so dominant in that second half. I kind of thought that'd push him over the top. But Drake Baldwin also a really good year. He ends up as your NL Rookie of the Year.
I yeah, I didn't like that. I think I again Drake Baldwin did have a very good season and like he looks like he could be a catcher for a long time with the Braves or whatever. Like whoever gives him the deal, like he's looking like he's gonna be really good. I think that came down to like you see it all the time of they like to favor the hitters versus the pitchers. Like Cade Horton, the second half of the season kind of carried the Cubs. Like every fifth day, he was going out there and just dominating. Like it was I forget he had a sub 2, I want to say, didn't he? The second half of the year.
Yeah.
Like you said, he had a push at the right time to like make his case for rookie of the year. So I don't know. I didn't have like a huge issue with it because Drake Baldwin did have a really good year, but I also kind of thought, like bias aside, that Kate Horton was very deserving of it if he would have won.
Yeah, I think it came down to the WAR thing, which WAR is not a perfect stat, um, but I think that just from the outside perspective, it felt like because Drake Baldwin had more WAR, that was kind of the decider.
You know why I don't have a vote? Why they don't give me a vote? Because I vote off feel, situation, what they mean to their team. I don't look at these numbers, war. I don't care. I look at the numbers a little bit, but I'm like, who means more to their team? The 50 and 110 Braves or the 90 and 60 Cubs? Which one made more sense? Neither of those added up to 162. I don't care, but I'm saying which one helped their team win more games? Cade Horton.
It did feel like to me that it came down to the fact that maybe Kate, I mean, it's hard to say, but in a razor thin margin race like that one was, Cade missed basically 1.5 starts at the end of the year with his injury, and he finished with 97 strikeouts in 118 innings. If he'd gotten to 128 innings and 107 strikeouts, it feels like that actually might have been the difference. You know, it's like that razor thin margin right there at the end, where if he had thrown another 9 innings and struck out six more guys, he might have been able to get over the top and win it. But I was disappointed for him, but ultimately doesn't matter. Like you'd rather him be an all-star next year anyway than him win Rookie of the Year. So great year for him and something to build upon, obviously in 26. But I was surprised. I did think he was going to win.
It is tough to, I think, obviously, like we said, his second half was better than his first half. I think he struck out a lot more guys in the second half too. Like I think the numbers in the first half were kind of low strikeout rates, and if you're getting less than one an inning, yeah, like if he could have got to over 100, that probably would have just looked a little better, like on a spreadsheet. But I don't know. I thought he had a good chance, but Drake Baldwin also had a hell of a season.
Ian, how
And
impressive was what Cade was able to do? I mean, he had that kind of blow up start in Houston, if you remember, and then really from that point on, like really dialed it in a way that I don't know. If, we obviously he had the pedigree as a big prospect, but I don't think anyone could have expected what he did from that point on the rest of the year.
yeah, I think one of the like when you look at Cade's season, like sometimes you'll have guys come out of the chute from the minor leagues and have like three, four, five like great starts, and then it kind of tails off into more average starts. Cade was the opposite of that, where he had good starts out of the chute, but not dominant. You know, giving up three, four runs or keeping us in the game, but starts that as teammates we were like, dude, you're this is great. Keep giving us these. Like in the big leagues, you give us 5 innings, 3 runs. Like keep doing that, and like you'll keep learning. And then for him to, you know, make adjustments in the big leagues and then be dominant down the stretch, I thought was really impressive because sometimes it goes the other way. And so I thought that just the learning and the maturation process of him continuing to get better, I thought was the most impressive part of just his season, and kind of that first taste of the big leagues for him.
Man, if he stayed healthy. Ah,
Yeah, and the other part of that injury was like it was a very freak rib fracture out of nowhere. It wasn't like it was like a coughing rib fracture. It wasn't like his arm blew up, which is also like a very positive thing. It's not like for a guy that hadn't actually thrown a ton of innings in college or the minor leagues, like you could be very nervous about having an arm injury. It wasn't that, it was kind of a freak rib thing. So, I'm excited for him to put in a full season at the major league level.
Yeah. Ian, I know you don't start hitting for a little while, but once you start hitting, what gloves do you plan to use this offseason?
You know what? I'm thinking about using Bruce Bolt's.
Bruce Bolt.
BruceBolt.us. My favorite gloves, your favorite gloves. They just announced Fernando Tatis as a full-time Bruce Bolt guy. Been
Well,
wearing them, but he's in there now. BruceBolt.us. Go check out my signature series. You can check out Fernando's signature series too. That's all right. Use code HAP at checkout for free shipping.
I hope Fernando likes being second chair because IHA's first chair on Bruce Bolt.
You said it.
Only by Ian's, nobody else's.
You
That's
want
what
to
I
you want to
say.
talk about? Is there other free agent stuff that we should touch on? You want to talk about some of these
There
guys?
is, but I think we should also mention you were in New York for the Team Gold Glove Award. We talked about it last week when you were not here, but you guys did win the Team Gold Glove, and I know Pete was there and Nico was there. That had to be a cool experience to get that in New York when you guys won it.
Tom and I gave you your flowers last week because we knew how badly you wanted that Team Gold Glove.
New York was great. It was really cool to share that experience with Pete and Nico. Um, but yeah, the team Gold Glove was like it was just awesome to be able to. We won it in 2020, but I wasn't obviously at the Gold Glove ceremony then. So Mr. Ricketts, Jed, and Council came to the dinner, which was really cool, and actually came on stage to accept the Team Gold Glove. Pete was actually doing media after he had gotten his, so he wasn't on stage with us. Nico and I went up with those guys, but it was really cool just to accept it, to be up there, and I hope they display that one proudly because that was a full team effort to get that.
Is there a certain number your bank account has to get to before you get a Mr. instead of their first name? Just because you said Mr. Ricketts, Jed, and Counts. And I was like, why isn't it Mr. Hoyer? Why is it Mr. Ricketts? I was just thinking, it's how everyone does it. Like, if you're the owner of the team, like, it's always Mr. this. And I'm like, it's got to be a money thing, right? And because they're the head honcho.
Because he's the big
Makes
boss man.
sense. He is the big boss, fan. I just thought it was funny. You go Mr. Ricketts, Jed, and Counts, like just joking with the other ones. But
Oh,
yeah, it was
it was
cool to
cool.
see. I noticed that in the picture of you guys on stage, PCA wasn't in it, and I was like, "Where'd Pete go?" So
Yeah, I think people might have been like, "Where was he?" When you accept your, they do it by position, right? So
mm,
you accept your award, you go on stage with the presenter. So like for left field, it was Dave Winfield. Actually,
pretty cool.
Quan wasn't there this year because I think he was on his honeymoon. But so you go up there, you take a picture, accept the award, and then you go backstage, and there's some media to do after. So Pete had it was center field, left field, center field, right field, I think is how they did it. And so Pete was still in the back doing media. And so when they announced the team right after the right field, Pete wasn't back from doing media yet. So I was back and Nico was back. And so we went on stage and accepted the team one. So that's why he
That's sick.
wasn't in the photo.
Yeah, but no, it was sick to see. I mean, we talked about it like before it was announced, but I felt like you guys had a good chance with three winners, six nominations, and then like we talked about the guys that weren't even nominated. Of like Dansby plays incredible shortstop. I Bush wasn't even a nomination, was he? I think it was Shaw, Kelly,
Boyd.
Boyd.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you had Bush, and then Saya slash Tucker and Wright. Like,
Yeah, just where we were in the team rankings of fielding run value, I think we were first or second. And so to be, to put that year together as a team defensively, uh, definitely felt like we deserved it, but especially to get that recognition.
yeah, pretty sick. Also, you're gonna love this. Wee, wee, wee. We have breaking news. Breaking news, Ian.
we I'm seeing on the Twitter that Shota accepted the qualifying offer and will be coming.
Patrick Mooney of The Athletic is reporting that he is accepted the qualifying offer. Just to put this in context for a second for people, since this system has been implemented since 2012, 157 players, including 13 this year, have been offered the qualifying offer. Shota will be just the 15th to accept it. So it's a
Well,
really unique situation to actually see a guy take the qualifying offer. This was a rare situation, though. Dakota and I were talking about this even before the show started where it did seem like it made sense for both sides. And I'm kind of glad we got a deal done in this way, and Shota gets to be a Cub next year.
well, what's even funnier is you just mentioned how rare it is. There's four people already that have accepted. Woodruff accepted, Glaber accepted, and Grisham accepted, along with
Wow.
Shota.
Wow.
Crazy.
Grisham's really surprising.
Yeah, the Grisham one surprised me a lot because he just had a career year. Sorry, we will get back to Shota. I just saw all of these pop up, and I was like, this is rare that this many people take it. But yeah, the Grisham one was surprising.
The
The
Glaber one
Glaber
makes
one,
some sense because he signed a 1 year deal last year for 15 mil, so not
yeah,
shocking he doubled down for another 1 year deal, especially
And
because
he
he didn't have he was an all-star but didn't really have the second half he probably would have wanted, so another chance for him to rebuild his value. But that's I mean, as you said, Dakota, like to have 4 or 5 guys accept this in 1 year, it's a very interesting turning point for this kind of system. I mean, I think it does show you also the uncertainty that lies ahead with the labor market because of the potential looming lockout as well.
and Ian, don't you've we've touched on it before. It's a pretty big factor, like going into free agency, knowing that like any team that signs you has to give up a comp pick, right? And obviously, guys know that like going into their free agency, like, well, negotiating with teams, like they're not going to be quite as happy to like try to get a deal done. Obviously, teams will still want you. There's still a market, but there's that like kind of looming over the contract.
Yeah, I think the other like those guys were all in a similar position where they were going to be if they rejected the qualifying offer, they would be looking at trying to get multi-year deals. Was it going to be two, three, kind of 2, 3 year deals? And so when you have teams that are weighing that against giving up a pick, sometimes it gets a little tough. And we've seen guys in the past get kind of burned by having the qualifying offer attached to them in that salary range. And so um, I think it probably factors into the decision. But it's an interesting, just going back to Shota, it's interesting. So now you're bringing back the starting rotation, Shota, JMO, Cade, Boyd, and then Steely's going to get healthy somewhere in the first couple months of the year. And so you
Really?
wonder how that affects um, just the free agent pitching market and what the Cubs are willing to do.
Wouldn't you say? I guess it's probably more of a. You'd comment on this. I would imagine that almost takes them out of it because, like you just said, like those four are all going to start, and then you probably have like Colin Ray, Assad, Jordan Wicks, like multiple guys competing for that fifth spot to cover until Steele's back. So like I'm not saying they won't go and try to get a starter, but I just feel like if you do, it's like, all right, well, you must be moving one of the other guys because you have right now four starters that are like they're going to start. Like none of those guys really fit the mold of someone sliding to a bullpen spot.
Sorry, did you
Yeah,
also mention your boy C Ray? Colin Ray
Oh,
also back on a 1 year
fir-
deal as well.
he
first
of
name,
course he
first name
did.
I said, first name I said. Come on
Just
now, you
wanted to make
forgot to
sure
forget
you
about C
included
Ray.
him.
I mean, it was more I said it was a competition to be nice, but C Ray will start. You heard it here first from Dakota Mekas with no inside knowledge at all. Colin Ray will start next year.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's an interesting. You talk a lot about starting pitching depth and like how important it is to have depth in that role, so that if something happens, like C Ray did stepping up for us, that you have depth and the ability to have multiple guys who can fill that role. So yeah, it'll be really interesting.
I do think that opens it up though for you guys to attack. Obviously, like Keller's a free agent. Is Thielbar back or is he a free agent?
Free agent.
Thielbar's gone. Kittredge gone. You still have Palencia. But I'm saying like bullpen wise, like you lost like Thielbar and Keller were the two like horses all season long. If they threw a million games and leverage innings, it opens it up to be like, all right, like we can go and attack our bullpen now and like get some guys, maybe bring those guys back, whatever it may be. which I would love to see both of them back, honestly. And then kind of just shore up the bullpen now that you kind of have an idea of what your rotation will look like.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a big bullpen focus, and yeah, I think it's Palencia, Ben Brown, C Ray. If like these are the starting five, or if C Ray is the fifth starter, and then going into when Steely comes back plus Assad, I think those are kind of the guys who pitch out of the bullpen for us who are coming back. So there definitely is. We had a lot of guys who are on 1 year deals or who are in free agency now. So yeah,
Which
that it's and I think both sides are probably happy with that. You know, the Cubs have a 1 year commitment now with Shota, and now Shota's getting 22 for the year. You know, I don't know that either side's disappointed with that outcome.
Tom and I were talking about it. It's because at Shota's peak, he is worth probably at least 22 million a year. Like when he's really good, like early in the year, he's like an ace. He's a bona fide ace when he's on. And then like you kind of saw later in the year where things, didn't go great. But I mean, like you said, I don't think either side is upset with this deal because obviously, like, if the Cubs didn't want him to accept it, they wouldn't have extended it and been like, oh, now we're stuck with him. Like, the Cubs want him back. He obviously wants to be back. He accepted the offer. So I think overall, I as a fan am happy that he accepted, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, and you hope that with the some of the hamstring stuff that he dealt with, that once he's past that he's the guy that we know he is. You know.
For sure.
I mean, it was a rare situation where I think it made sense for both sides. Cubs get a potential top end starter on a 1 year deal that they liked, and I think at a value that made sense. And for Shota, it's an opportunity to rebuild his value and see, if he has a really great year, he can go back on the market and get a long term deal that he's looking for. So it kind of made sense for both sides. And from a fan perspective, we've talked a lot about the Cubs being, when you talk about free agency, you're hoping that they're going to spend the money. This is money that they've outlaid and now they've already spent. So that, early on in free agency, it's good to see them spend it. And now, as you guys said, I mean, I think they're done with starting pitching. Maybe you make the moves around the edges. You'll obviously have your NRI guys. You'll make a couple extra moves, but like in terms of any other big name free agent starting pitchers, you're done, and it allows them to maybe move their focus to other areas where they can try to help the team now.
Is it most like relief pitchers? I feel like nowadays, unless you're a closer, like we were just saying with Keller and Thielbar and all the guys like on 1 year deals, like I feel like all relievers nowadays are like 1 year deals. So it's like every offseason you're going into, you're kind of just rebuilding your bullpen again.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, that's definitely what it feels like. It feels like guys aren't getting, besides closers, aren't getting long-term deals, and guys like who are closers or were closers on another team and are going to be eighth inning guys on a team like a Kirby Yates is getting a 2 year deal. But there's not a bunch of guys that are 3, 4, 5 year deals out of the bullpen who aren't, Tanner Scott.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen. It's the
No,
life of a reliever, I know it all too well, man.
it's a grind.
But no, I'm happy Imanaga's back. I think, like you said, get the hamstring fully healthy, come into spring ready to roll. Like Tom said, like potential top end starter on a 1 year deal for 22 million. Like I am very happy with it.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of obviously we had Naylor, but free agency should start to kick off now once teams are certain about kind of where they're at with all these qualifying offers. Hopefully we get the winter meetings in a little under a month. Hopefully we start to see some action in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I think, like you said, the winter meetings are typically when things really start kicking off because everybody's in one place able to hammer out deals. But we'll see because I feel like in years past we've also said that, and then like the winter meetings will come and there's like one deal made and it's like 2 years, 20 million for like a utility guy, and then we wait until January and the superstars are still free agents. We're like, what's happening?
Every year we hope that things get moving earlier, and they never do.
Nope.
We
And
got to give it credit this year, though. This deadline usually comes and goes without many people signing, and this is a very active qualifying offer period. So maybe that's a sign of things to come that we'll have an early active free agency. Be nice.
I'm
Be
so
nice.
surprised by the Grisham one. I can't believe that one. It's
The
it's
Grisham
a
one is
lot of
really
money.
surprising.
I don't think he would have gotten a deal where he would have also made 22 million a year.
No,
So,
but in terms of
but
like,
he's
wouldn't
coming
you
off a
want the extra
career
years
year.
and value? Like, wouldn't you rather have three for 45 or three for 50? I don't know.
It's
Yeah, I
almost
wonder.
like betting on yourself.
He's at an interesting age too, where I wonder if he's at a point.
He's what, 30, 31?
I think
I think he's
he's
like
just
my
younger than that. Uh, he's 29. I wonder if he's thinking, I go out and have another good year. They can't put the Q on me again. I go out as a 30-year-old free agent and have a chance to make some money. He just turned 29, so he's playing his age 29 season going into his age 30 season. So, if he has another good year, then he sets himself up with no QO. Um, and if he has back-to-back years like he just had, and then he sets himself up to get a really nice deal next year. So you go back in that lineup, we'll see what that does to Bellinger. I think that's the interesting one about like the Yankees and Belly and Tucker is like you thought they were going to be really in that market, especially if Grisham leaves. Now that Grisham's back, you wonder how much that affects. You're paying him 22 million. He's got to play. So, and he's left-handed. You wonder how much that affects a Bellinger or a Tucker signing, if at all.
I'm very
true.
curious where Kyle Tucker ends up. It's not immediately clear to me what the team for Kyle Tucker is in this exact moment. I don't know what it is. And like, he's obviously such a talented player, and there are going to be teams that are interested in him. But if you ask me right now, where does Kyle Tucker end up? I don't really have a great answer for you. And I do think this Grisham move kind of not fully eliminates the Yankees, as you said. Like maybe they're just not interested in Bellinger then. But it definitely makes things more complicated from the Yankee perspective.
If I'm the
For sure.
Yankees, I'm taking Bellinger at a lower price than I would Kyle Tucker. That's
I
my
would
answer.
too. I would
I
too.
would I would rather have Belly after the year he just had at Yankee Stadium and the defense he plays. They both play good defense, but I think at their prices that they're going to cost, I personally, if I was a Yankees fan, would be rooting for them to go and get Belly back.
Bellinger also a little bit more versatility, can go play the infield, can, kind of
That's
bounce
what I
around
was
the
going to say.
outfield.
I think
you
with
looked
with with
you
well
looked
with
so
Gold
sad when he said it before you.
no
You're like,
with
oh,
Gold I just think with for the Yankees with Goldschmidt leaving, they have Ben Rice who plays first as well, but just the versatility for Belly to play first and bounce to the outfield probably gives them just Harrison Bader's an interesting name for them about like a guy that can run around and play center field and is coming off a good year and like if you have that right-handed bat as an option, and then Belly can bounce back and forth, like I don't know that it'll be interesting to see how they navigate that.
yeah, for sure.
Should we get the people of screen time?
Do it.
Sloan Screen Time. Sloan is the world's leading manufacturer of commercial plumbing systems at the forefront of the green building movement, provides smart, sustainable, hygienic restroom solutions, faucets, flushometers, sink systems. Sloan Valve
We're doing today.
today.
Yeah.
3 hours,
Three
25 minutes.
ah 344 for me.
241.
Mm.
So
See, that's
Damn.
closer though. We're closer now.
yeah,
We're making it competitive,
we're
Tom.
fighting. We're fighting.
Well, Tom and I are fighting. We're fighting you.
That's episode 285 of the Compound Podcast presented by Parse Rum. Go to Benny's, get your Parse, send us a photo. We will see you next week.